is Sports Network.
NFL. There we go. We live, baby. NFL Nation. How you doing? Want to welcome everybody into the NFL Turns, baby. As we get you ready for week 5. You are joined today by Jeremy, the host of Beware the Stampede, and also the host of Come On In, Bills. I'm Dolph Jackson, one of your hosts also, and I also am the host of the Keeping It Real Who That Exposed podcast. We're about to have some fun. The lines will be open today, family, if you'd like to come in. And hey, we want to know your thoughts before kickoff. But just to let you know, the NFL Week 5 has begun across the pond in England. And right now at halftime, it is the Minnesota Vikings leading the New York Jets 17-7. And in this contest, quite frankly, the Jets have been the better team. The Vikings have been the better team. Aaron Rodgers on the day is only 3 of 9 for 16 yards, which is not right. They need it. Let's update that because he did toss a touchdown right before half. He's 10 of 20 for 95 yards. He has 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. One of those INTs was a house call by the Minnesota Vikings. Sam Darnold, 6 of 13 for 83 yards on the day. He's only completing 46% of his passes right now in this contest. Again, that game is exclusively on NFL Network. It is at halftime, and that is your current game stats. Right now, Breece Hall, 4 carries for only 9 yards. Aaron Jones did go out for the Vikings. At the time he went out, he was averaging 4.1 yards per carry, and he had 29 yards. The battle of the day, Sauce going on Justin Jefferson. Jefferson has been targeted 8 times. He has 4 receptions for 61 yards, along with 27. But he has drawn numerous pass interference, illegal contact calls against the against the New York Jets. Some of them kind of wishy-washy calls, in my opinion. But again, right now the Vikings looking much like what they record say they are, a 4-0 football team, as they are finding ways to win. And right now the Jets got a late punt return right before right under the 2-minute warning. They set them up in great field position inside the Vikings 30-yard line. They were able to capitalize. Aaron Rodgers throwing a touchdown. His touchdown went to Aaron Lazard on the day. It's been targeted 4 times, but he has only 1 catch. But that 1 catch was a much-needed touchdown. So despite playing horrible, not playing good football in the first half, hey, they find themselves down 17-7 at the half. Again, want to welcome everybody here. I'm Dolph. Jeremy's in the house. We go hold it down today for our brothers. We thank everybody for being here. All right. So, Jeremy, how you doing this morning, my brother?
I'm doing all right, Dolph. It's another softball tournament this weekend, so that's why you guys get me on audio, and I'll be on as much as I can. May have to hop off in a little bit, but I'm doing all right, my friend. How are you, brother?
I'm doing good for a Sunday, man. Feeling good. I'm up. Hey, you know what they say, man. I'm on the right side of the dirt, so hey, I'm all right, man.
That's right.
all
But
right.
if you're the Jets, are you feeling that way today? Because man, if
Man,
you're the Jets, is it time to start hitting the panic button over there? That offense
man,
is incredibly inept. Like what are your thoughts on that as far as the Jets are looking? Because man, I did not
man.
expect this out of their offense this year at all.
They haven't looked good all season. It's a work in progress. And right now, like you said, no one expected them to look as le- as lethargic as they've been looking. Right now they can't protect Aaron Rodgers. Um, he had a cone to come free on them on a where they basically the Vikings are coming in with the same game plan that the Broncos used last week.
Yep.
They're overloading the line of scrimmage, and on one of the sacks it was on Aaron Rodgers because as a quarterback you got to know you're gonna have that free man coming, that safety coming, and it's your responsibility to get rid of that ball, and he didn't
Absolutely.
get rid of it. So right now they're having all kind of communications problems, but they are still only down 10. Which is
shocking.
Which is shocking. The defense has kept them in this game. And what I started looking at a couple years ago, Jeremy, is when teams get down 17-0, that is not an insurmountable margin to come back from.
No.
Even if you get a field goal, then you get a touchdown to start in the second half. Now you're only down one score. It's a totally different game. So it's just something I started paying attention about, and the percentage of teams being down 17-0 and coming back to either tie the game. I believe when I looked at it, it was about 48 to 52% of the time. So
Wow.
if your team goes down 17-0, it is not the end of the world, especially early in the game. There's a lot of football that will be played.
They are going to have to hold them, though, because I do
Right.
believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that the Vikings do receive after half. So they're going to have to find a way to hold them.
Yes, sir. And right there, you see it, family. You are looking live at Houston, Texas. That's right, because today in Houston, Texas, there's a big football game that's going to go down today. As right now, two of the top teams in the AFC will do battle in H-Town, and I'm talking about the Buffalo Bills taking on the Houston Texans at 12 noon, 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS. I'm going to go to the expert right now on the Buffalo Bills, our guy, our brother Jeremy. Jeremy, what's your outlook for today's game between the Texans and the Bills?
It's going to be a good game. I mean, we got a couple injuries on the Bill side. Shakir is out. Oliver is going to be out. So that's definitely with Shakir being out is going to be a little painful. But if you look at Houston, they've got Tank Dell out. But Nico Collins has been every bit of what you would have expected for him to be. I mean, he's just been absolutely dynamite. Obviously, everyone's wanting to put this as the revenge game with Diggs. I don't think there's necessarily a revenge part per se in this. I'm expecting the Bills to hopefully step up from what they looked like last week. I'm still shaking my head on that whole Ravens game. It was one of those, I feel like the minute Henry broke off that touchdown run, you could just kind of feel like it wasn't going to be our night. So, honestly, my biggest concern is if the Bills end up not winning this for some reason. 4-1 and 3-2 are very different this early in the season. I think they can win it, but with Shakir being out, I'm a little concerned. The good thing is Allen's been able to spread the ball around. If you look at his games, he's had 10 different receivers, 9 different receivers. So I'm expecting to see Keon Coleman probably get a few more targets. I expect to see Kincaid be really involved, actually. I think this is going to be a breakout game for him because he's going to pick up a lot of those targets that Shakir hasn't seen. And honestly, I'd like to see Samuel more involved. So it'll be interesting to see how we're going to end up playing this game. But Houston's got their fair share of injuries, too. I believe Mixon may be out again. I know Pierce, I believe, is out. So it's I think this could be one of those shootout games. I feel like this every time. You got two great quarterbacks with a lot of great receivers on both sides. So it's going to be an exciting game.
All right. And speaking of the quarterbacks, let's start with your quarterback, Josh Allen. Josh Allen, Jeremy, has completed 7 of 17 passes from outside the pocket this year at a 41% clip for 159 yards and 2 touchdowns that season. And he's just one of 5 quarterbacks with multiple touchdown passes from outside the pocket in 2024. The other ones are Kyler Murray, Derek Carr, Lamar Jackson, and the man he'll be standing across the field from, C.J. Stroud. So what's your thoughts on what kind of game are you going to need from your leader today, Josh Allen?
I think you're going to see him break out running a lot more than we have the past couple games. I think this is going to be one of those games he's going to have to use his legs to break out and get some space. It's going to be critical that they get the run game established with Cook, or if they're using Ray Davis or Ty Johnson early to kind of free up those receivers. His typical safety out, like I said, Shakir not being there is going to be a big loss. I mean, that guy's got literally glue for hands. So I think you're going to see a lot more 2 tight end sets to do today to get him a little bit more protection with Knox and Kincaid. But the good thing is with Allen and all those quarterbacks you listed, the one surprising one on there to me is actually Derek Carr. But if you look at all those other quarterbacks, they're all pretty mobile quarterbacks. I mean, obviously Allen, Murray, Jackson, C.J. Stroud's not often a runner, but he's got the ability. But Derek Carr, I wouldn't have expected him on that list, so I was surprised you threw that name in there.
Yeah, that was a surprise. Now, when the Bills defense is on the field against C.J. Stroud, Jeremy, your Bills have utilized the cloud coverage, which is cover 2 plus cover 6, at the highest rate in the NFL this year at 40%. They have allowed just 5.4 yards per attempt when they're in the cloud coverage, which is the third fewest in the National Football League. So today I'm looking for the Bills kind of a lot of cloud coverage, but also to mix it up a little bit, throw in a little man here and there on CJ Stroud, try to get him a little confused, make him just hold that ball just a half second more than he would want to. And speaking of CJ Stroud, he has been the most successful this season when inside the pocket, but he has had most success throwing from outside the pocket to the right compared to the left side. For instance, Stroud has averaged 8.3 yards per attempt, family, inside the pocket, the third most in the league. However, all 7 of Stroud's interceptions in his career have been on passes from inside the pocket. So how about that? So with that being said, I really don't need to answer this because I know the answer to this question. But Jeremy, who you got in this one, my friend?
Gotta go with the Bills. I'm always gonna go with the Bills, Dolph.
Yeah, I know. I mean, hey, just had to ask it. I'm
gonna go with the Bills 35-27. I think this is gonna be one of the higher scoring games today. I think there's some injuries. There's definitely some injuries on defense, so I could see this getting a little more crazy than I typically would have expected. Especially with the Bills secondary banged up a little bit, and we don't know if Bernard's going to still play at this point. So, depending on what happens with that, it's going to be it could be a shootout game. And honestly, Nico Collins, I think, is going to just have another dynamite day. And obviously, you got Diggs, right? He's going to want to show up and show off. So, I think 35. I'm going to go 35-27 Bills.
Question for you, Jeremy. Are Teron Johnson and Terrell Bernard still out for the Bills?
Bernard is probably not going to play. Johnson's supposed to be out. But Bernard, I would be surprised if he played. I think he's still, based on what he's been saying earlier in the week with his pectoral injury, I think he's not going to be a go.
Gotcha. Okay. Samuel, how you doing, my brother? Come on in. Thank you for being here. Samuel, hit that like and subscribe button, man. All right, now, Sports Nation, how you doing? Come on in. He says, where is Zach and NONPFIXION? Hey, Zach and Nine, man, they had an early stream this morning. Those brothers have been up since about 7, 8 o'clock last night, all the way up to 4, 5 this morning. So our brothers there are getting them a well-deserved rest. So they won't be in here today. So myself and Jeremy and you, we're holding it down. All right, I see St. John Butler, my guy, my brother. How you doing? Come on in. Thank you for being here. No problem. All right, family. The next game for us to take a look at, family, is going to take place today in the state of Ohio. Now, this game, my friends, before the season started, was looked upon as one of the key matchups coming into this week. Can the 1-3 Cincinnati Bengals get it back, as you are looking live at Cincinnati, Ohio, where the Baltimore Ravens will be going in to take on those Cincinnati Bengals? So, Jeremy, in this contest here, my friend, again, We got the Ravens 2-2, winners of 2 straight. The Bengals finally got off the slide last week against the Carolina Panthers, 1-3. Ravens come in as a team right now that seems to be finding their mojo right now. As for the Bengals, many would say, well, hey, you got to win last week against the Carolina Panthers, but it wasn't Bryce Young quarterbacking, it was Andy Dalton. So it actually, it gave it a little more flair to that game, a little more excitement to that game, but they were able to take care of business. Now they're back home in the jungle. Can they make it 2 straight, or will the Ravens make it 3 straight?
No. I think the Ravens, after watching the Bills last week, that team is looking real hot right now. And the Bengals, I think, are still trying to really figure everything out. I mean, they had obviously injuries early on in basically every spot possible. I love Zach Moss, as you know, but the running back room's a mess. I think they're still trying to figure out where Zach Moss and Chase Brown fit as far as who should be getting the reps, which looks like it's going to start leaning towards Chase more. So I think on offense, they're still trying to figure out a lot of pieces and how it all fits, is where the Ravens last week just looked complete. I mean, they just dominated the Bills. And I expect Lamar and Henry to just go off again today. My biggest concern with the Ravens is honestly receiving. You got Zay Flowers. Mark Andrews hasn't been as involved as I expected to see. Likely he's been a little bit more involved in the tight end room, which I'm not surprised. But outside of Zay, they really don't have a solid number 2 receiver to look to, which is the biggest concern I have for that team right now.
Gotcha. And speaking of the Bengals offense versus the Ravens defense, going into this contest today, family, the Bengals have allowed just 19.5% pressure this season on Joe Burrow, which is the lowest in the NFL. Left tackle Orlando Brown has allowed the lowest pressure among left tackles at only 3.4%. And rookie Amarius Mills has done well filling in for Trent Brown. He's just allowed 3.5% pressure rate, which is 5th among right tackles. So he's been getting the protection, but yet they're 1-3. Why is this football team 1-3? Is it untimely penalties? Is it self-inflicted wounds? Got to protect the ball. You can't turn over the ball, and you can get all the stats you want. A team can drop up and down the field on the defense all day, but you got to score touchdowns when you're in scoring, when you're in the red zone, or when you have an opportunity. You got to score touchdowns, because it's not what happened a couple of weeks ago in Atlanta where the Falcons kicked 4 field goals and didn't score offensive touchdown. That doesn't happen that week, but they did have 2. They had an interception return. They had a special teams touchdown. That doesn't happen every week. You got to get the ball in the end zone. And speaking of the Bengals, let's go to their defense, because today they have to deal with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Speaking of Derrick Henry has generated a league high plus 185 rushing yards this over expected this season, including 200 yards before contact, which is the most among running backs. And he has forced 26 missed tackles on running plays, which is 2nd in the National Football League. This season, he has rushing for 10 plus yards. He's running the ball. He's getting 10 or more yards on 12% of his carries this season, which is his highest rate since 2020. Now, the dangerous Lamar Jackson. Jackson has been pressured at the lowest rate of his career this season, 25% of the time, allowing him to find wide open targets for a league high 404 passing yards. All right, family. So looking at this contest, I'm going to go. I think everything's pointing to the Ravens. To me, this is a must win for the Bengals. Ravens, I know the Ravens are hitting their stride, but man, I just got to believe that today is the day that the Bengals kind of get it right. But it's that defense, though, man. The Bengals defense. This is a tough one for me to call, family. I want to go Bengals. You heard me. You feel me. I want to go Bengals, family, but I think the Ravens make it 3 straight today, family. I think the Ravens make it 3 straight.
I don't think you're overthinking that, Dolph. I mean, I will say that I am mad at you for being the lone wolf last week with the Bills game, and I kind of blame you for that one. I feel like it was bad juju, but nah, don't overthink this one. This should be the Ravens until the Bengals figure out their offense and their running back room.
Yeah.
I think they're going to continue to struggle. I don't think they're far off. I think there's a few tweaks, and it's going to take another week or two, and they'll be back to their normal selves. But this isn't the week that's going to happen.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think I'm going with the Ravens also. We got a special guest coming on. This young man is a young man who has a podcast. It's called Hurricane Mike because he's a hurricane. He's a content creator of the New Orleans Saints, and this will be his first time joining us on As the NFL Turns. That's right. This young man knows the NFL. He's not just the New Orleans Saints. So without any further ado, joining us for a few minutes is the one and only Hurricane Mike. Hurricane Mike, how you doing this morning?
What's up? I'm doing amazing, man. How y'all doing?
We're doing good, my brother. Nice to have you. Thank you for joining us, man. Hey, man, it's your first official time joining us here as the NFL Turns, my man.
Yeah, man. Look, Look, I wasn't even planning on doing this, but then, I saw you were live because, I was doing something real quick. So, why don't I go chat it up with Dolph and them,
Hey, come on, chat it up with us, my man. So, Mike, in this game here, the Ravens and the Bengals, who you think gets the dub today? Who you going with in this contest? Mike froze up. You froze up, Mike. All right, let's see. Mike should go out and come back. I can hear you. There you go. I can hear you. There we go. You're back. There we go. There you go, Mike. We can hear you. Who you got? Ravens or Bengals? Who you got in this one?
Well, you see, look. So I was actually back and forth on this as well, and it's like the Bengals. Look, I understand it's a must-win game, but you can actually argue it's a must-win game for the Ravens as well, because if the Ravens lose their 2-3, and then they'll be below the Bengals in the standings. Because obviously the Bengals have a head-to-head win over them. But if the Bengals win, they're also 2-3. Or no, if they lose, they're 1-4, and their season, I'm not gonna say it's over, but it's looking kind of daunting. However, it's back and forth. But I just look, the Bengals' defense to me just been really horrible. So I just don't think they have enough defense to contain Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, And look, I know a Bengals fan who was saying, well, the Bengals defensive coordinator usually knows how to contain Lamar Jackson. But that's when he actually had a defense to work with. And the Bengals defense got tore up by Jane Daniels, got tore up by Andy Dalton. So I think Lamar Jackson's going to have a feast day, so give me the Ravens.
All right. Mike is gone with the Ravens in this one also. So it's a clean sweep. Jeremy, Hurricane Mike, and myself, we're going with the Baltimore Ravens to be successful in this one. We already picked this one. Jeremy's gone Buffalo. I didn't pick a team in this one. I'm not gonna pick a team in this game because I don't want Jeremy texting me talking about Dolph, you done it to me again. God damn it! So I'm gonna stay out of this one, Mike. Since you are a special guest, my brother, I'm gonna let you have it. Have the pick in this one. Buffalo, Houston.
So Jeremy, don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me.
Oh, Mike, we're starting out on a bad foot. I can see how this is going to go.
Hey, it makes me feel better. My team plays good and then plays trash. So, but yeah, I'm going Texans because look, I like the Bills. I like what they're doing, but if that Ravens game, you remember the Dolphins last year? It's like the theme was like they would blow everybody out until they actually have to play a good team. I'm not gonna lie, I think that might be the Bills this year because the Bills, I don't think they have enough key pieces to beat the Texans today. So I'm sorry, Jeremy. You can say the Saints suck for all I care, but I don't care. Give me the Texans.
All right, so Mike is gone with the Texans in that one. So next week we're gonna see who was right. Was it Hurricane Mike or was it Jeremy? Mike, while we got a minute, man, let everybody know your channel, your platform, and also put it in the chat, man, so they can check your channel out.
Oh yeah, so I started the show when last season was started. You can find me on YouTube. That's the only social media. But yeah, we go live 3 times usually when the Saints play. We go live 3 times. in the morning. Well, I go live 3 times, but me and my dad go live twice before the Saints game and right after the Saints game. And then we have prediction shows. We have recap shows of all the week. So yeah, you can always find me at Hurricane Mike on YouTube.
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right, family. Next game up is the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. In this contest, we got the Colts fresh off of a victory over the Texans and a Jaguar team that right now is searching for answers. Pressure is on Trevor Lawrence. Is Trevor Lawrence the real problem with Jacksonville? Is it eternal, or is it the pieces that they have surrounded him with? Mike, I'll start with you, and then we'll go to Jeremy on this one.
Well, look, Trevor Lawrence, has he been good? No, he hasn't. But that defense, look, I'm not trying to basically say Trevor Lawrence ain't playing bad because he's been playing pretty awful, but he's definitely not been playing up to the #1 overall pick a couple years ago. But, however, the defense, look, I was watching this video from a Jaguars fan, and he had a funny thing where it's the defense couldn't stop, a parked car with no wheels. And I agree, bro, because this defense is atrocious. So, I don't think Trevor Lawrence, he's not playing as well as we thought he was, but he's definitely not the main problem there in Jacksonville. So, give me the Colts to win, however, because Joe Flacco's playing, and I'm not going to lie. If Anthony Richardson would play, I would have to pick Jacksonville. But since Joe Flacco, give me the Colts.
All right, he's going with the Colts in this one. And speaking of the Colts, this year Jonathan Taylor has forced the 7th most missed tackles, 19 in the NFL. His 24.4% missed tackle rate this season will be the highest for him in any season during his career. All right, Jeremy, I'm gonna go to you, my brother. What's your thoughts in this one?
Well, I got to agree with Mike on this. I'm not a Trevor Lawrence fan. I don't think it's entirely his fault as far as how that team is playing by any means. I do blame the defense more than the offense, but I think Trevor Lawrence just doesn't have it. I mean, if you go back to last season, they're just not winning with him at quarterback, and you got to wonder how much longer they're going to let him kind of run this. I mean, I know he was a first-round pick, but at some point you got to find a way to change that offense. Right. Joe Flacco, Joe Flacco, God, I love this guy. He just keeps showing up and keeps making it happen somehow. I love Anthony Richardson. I think they would still win with Richardson. I'm most excited to see Trey Sermon finally get some reps today. A big fan of his, even when he was at OU, then obviously transferred to Ohio State, 3rd-round pick back in, I believe, 2021 of the Niners. Never really got a shot. So this is going to be his first real, chance to step up and show today what he's capable of. And I think he's going to get a lot of reps. They're going to let Joe Flacco throw, but I think they're going to spend a lot of time running on the ground. So I would expect a big day out of Trey Sermon. Yeah, the Colts are going to walk away with this one.
Gotcha. Now, the Colts have allowed 13.3 yards per attempt on downfield passes this season, which is the 5th most. But get this, they are yet to allow a single touchdown downfield. They are one of 2 teams. The other team is in the NFC South, and they just happen to be tied for the lead in the South. That is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, as far as the Jacksonville Jaguars go, when Trevor Lawrence does drop back to pass the ball, look for rookie wide receiver Brian Thompson out of LSU. Thompson leads all receivers in deep receptions with 4, and he has yards, by the way, with 140 yards this season. He's averaging 13.7 yards per route, which is the 3rd deepest among rookie receivers. He's only behind Xavier Worthy of the Chiefs and Marvin Harrison Jr. of the 7th. Worthy is averaging 14.8 and Harrison 14.7. And in this contest, man, I'm going with the Colts too. I don't see the Jaguars getting off the slide today. If the Colts were to lose this contest today, man, I don't know. I still like Trevor Lawrence. I'm starting to think, man, the kid's talented. I'm not gonna say the kid's not talented, but maybe they're just not bringing in the right coaches and putting them in the right system. And I don't know, man. I know it's frustrating for Jaguar fans. So with that being said, I'm going with the Colts in this one. It's the Colts all day, baby. Colts take this one. So it's a clean sweep on that one. Next game up went too fast, but here we go. I know how Jeremy feels about this game. He doesn't like either one of these teams. He doesn't care who wins this team. I want to say shout out to Mitri, shout out to my son-in-law, because he's a huge Miami Dolphin fan. Shout out to my brother Billy. They love these Dolphins, baby. Dolphins at Patriots. And guess what? Dang it, mark it down right now. I'm calling it. Patriots win, baby. Patriots win today over the Dolphins. They don't have Tua. Tua makes a big difference. If you didn't think that he was a key card for that team, and now you see why they paid Tua. And you see why a couple years, the last 2 years, a lot of people were high on their current quarterback Huntley when he was backing up Lamar Jackson. Listen, he in the NFL, he's got NFL talent, but I never saw him as the guy that can take the reins of a team and be the face of a franchise. And right now, I'm being proven right. Could that change today? Let's see. Then you got trade talks surrounded around the cheetah and everything. I don't know what's going on in Miami, but today it gets worse because guess what? On the other side, it's the best cornerback in the National Football League, a kid by the name of Christian Gonzalez. I'm going with the Patriots on this one. Jeremy, who you got?
Man, I hate both of these teams, and not just because they're in the same conference. They're just both really bad, shockingly bad. The AFC East is one of those. This is the conference this year I was actually most excited for because I looked at all these teams minus the Patriots and thought, man, this could be really competitive. And honestly, it's sad to see what's happened to the Jets and the Dolphins. If I got to pick one, and honestly, I feel like you can flip a coin in this, man, I got to go with the Patriots. I feel like they're both bad, and I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. But I think the Patriots actually pull this one out. And I think maybe Ramondre Stevenson, hopefully if he gets more touches, because I know they're talking about maybe making a switch there, I think this might be the game for him to really bust out and get back to where he's capable of being.
Gotcha. Now, speaking of Tyreek Hill last season led all receivers and receptions with 20 and yards 772 and touchdowns 8 on deep targets. This year, he has caught 2 or 5 deep targets for 20 or more yards for 101 yards and a touchdown. But guess what? All that occurred in week 1. Since then, he has only recorded 3 deep targets. Recorded 3 deep targets weeks 2 through 4. So they're not even getting the ball into his hands deep. So listen, you got to find other ways to get. You got to do quick screens. You got to do slants. You got to do end arounds. Maybe put him in the backfield. Give him a couple draws. He's your most explosive player. You got to get his hand on the ball. But I think this Patriots defense has been playing well this season. The Patriots defense has allowed the 7 most deep receiving yards, though, on just 5 completions. They're giving up 42 yards. They're averaging giving up 42 yards on deep shots this season. So maybe today is the day the Dolphins could take advantage of that. We'll see if Huntley is able to do that. Speaking of the Patriots, their offense, they have allowed the highest pressure rate and the most quick pressures forwarded as a team through 4 weeks. Not a good thing. Now, back to the Dolphins. When they're running the ball, A-Chain has the league low rushing yard. Nah, we're going to skip that. That's not important. Kenyon White, defensive end for the New England Patriots, has totaled a team high 19 pressures this season, 11 of which have come under 2.5 seconds. So he's getting back there real quick. The Patriots have a defense. The Patriots' problem is their offense. They got to find some consistency on offense. They got to find some playmakers on the outside to help their young quarterback out. Again, I'm going with the Patriots in this game to upset the Dolphins. Mike, who you got in this one?
Dolphins, look, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie. There's always that one game every single week where it's like, why? And this week I think the game clearly goes to the Dolphins Patriots. However, I'm actually going to disagree with both of you because I actually got the Dolphins winning this one because based on the fact, look, the Patriots, look, they're like their defense, it's alright, but their offense ain't okay. And I feel like the Dolphins, right? Their main problem was, they couldn't run the ball. Their offensive line couldn't block. So I think if the offensive line can contain, they get Raheem Mostert back, I think today, and Odell Beckham's back. So I think as long as what was that, Roger? But hey, I think as long as the Dolphins do that, I think they can win. It's going to be a low-score game, and it's going to be a game that whoever even chooses to watch this game will want to poke their eyes out. But however, I do got the Dolphins winning this game probably by a point because it's going to be horrible.
All right. So I'm the lone wolf on this one. None of y'all got the Patriots?
No, only Patriots.
That's right, Jeff. All right. What? Hey, we got a tradition here, Mike. You're the lone wolf, so you got to give us that wolf cry. You're the lone wolf on this one, baby. Let's get it. Let's give me that wolf cry. Let's hear it. Come on. I can't hear it. God damn it. Is that a puppy? I don't know what the hell that's
was. That's all you're going to get.
God dang. I don't know what. I don't know what the hell that was. I don't know if that was a chihuahua, damn hyena, but we gonna take it.
And Aaron Rodgers is hurt. Oh my God, is he seriously hurt again, bro?
Hey, they can't protect him. That offensive line, he's getting eaten up. He's been getting hit all day.
Well, Rodgers out for the season again.
Nah, he up. He walking on. He good. He'll be all right. He gonna be all right.
He got hurt again.
Here we go. Next game up. Coach won't be in here today because Coach is Rookie of the Year, and my Rookie of the Year just happens to play in the nation's capital. Just happens to be from the Bayou, baby. He won the Heisman Trophy, and right now, he's setting the league on fire this season, just like a quarterback did last season who will be playing in Houston today. But I'm talking about none other than Jaden Daniels. As today, it is the Browns headed in to play the Washington Commanders, the NFC East leading Washington Commanders. Who would have thought that after the first month of the season, it would be the Commanders leading the way in the NFC East? Hey, that's why you play the games. You don't go off what's on paper. So, guys, let's get to this contest. Hurricane, I'm going to start with you. Commanders, Browns, who you got and why?
All right. Look, the Browns Commanders, bro. Look, last week, if you watched the Hurricane Mike show, I was doing a victory lap, basically saying how I told everybody Jaden Daniels was the best quarterback out of last year's, or technically this year's draft class. I was telling everybody, and everybody was like, man, the Commanders will win 3 games at most. And then look at here, man. They already got 3 wins through the first 4 weeks. However, look, there's going to be that one game where it's like, look, the Browns, they're not a good team. But I think the Browns do get an upset here because I feel like that defense with Myles Garrett in them. Jaden Daniels, he's good, but he hasn't really gone up against a defense like the Browns, you know what I'm saying? And so the best defense he's went up against was the Buccaneers defense, and you saw what happened to him. Jaden Daniels, he had some good runs, but he got hit hard on one of the runs. But I gotta go with the Browns here. Look, I think the Commanders can win, but I'm picking the Browns here.
Okay, gone with the Browns. It is hard looking at the way that Deshaun Watson and this Cleveland offense has looked. And if you had watched anything to do with this young team here, these Washington Commanders, man, I'm going with the better quarterback. He's at home. He's not afraid. He's been playing ball all season. He's just been balling. I'm going with the man of the hour. I'm going with Jaden Daniels, the Washington Commanders. I think the Commanders get it done today, Mike. I don't think it's close. So I'm going with the Commanders, my brother, to take this one. And listen, I think the Commanders take this by 10. I think I'm going to go final score 23-13, Commanders over Browns. Jeremy, how about you in this one, my brother?
I'm going the Commanders. I mean,
You went out, Jeremy. Let's see. Jeremy went out. He'll get. Can you hear me, Jeremy?
Oh, there we go. Guys got me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, no, I'm going Washington. Cleveland's that team's just a mess. Still, Daniels is the real deal. I wasn't sure about that at the beginning of the season. I thought maybe you were wrong, Dolph, but I'll take it. You were right.
I told you, man. Another watch. Now, Washington's offense versus the Browns defense. The Commanders are ranked number one in the National Football League in all passing. The Browns defense is third. So advantage goes to the Commanders. Now, overall rushing efficiency, Commanders 2, the Browns 20. Advantage Commanders. Defensively, listen, the Browns passing efficiency, they're number 30 in the NFL. The Commanders are ranked 32nd. Advantage goes to the Browns there. Rushing efficiency, the Browns are 13th and the Commanders 16th. Will the Browns get Nick Chubb back? I haven't seen any. I don't expect he'll play, but I haven't heard anything about Nick Chubb playing today. But even if Chubb plays, I don't think it's enough. He's just coming back. It'll be his first action since that horrific injury last season. So I'm going to go in this one. I'm going to go, of course, with the Commanders. And by the way, the Browns offense with Deshaun Watson has used the spread formation 41% of the time this season, which is the second highest rate in the NFL, trailing only the Dallas Cowboys. And Deshaun Watson has completed 55% of his passes and averaged 5.3 yards per attempt when passing out the spread formation, both of which rank as the 7th lowest in the National Football League. I'm going Commanders. It's the Commanders in this one all day, baby. I'm going Commanders. All right, fam, let's go to the next one. Next game on the docket. We throwing back Raiders, Broncos. Max Crosby will be playing today. He will be back this week for this contest. Guys, Jeremy, I'll start off with you. Broncos, Raiders. Can the Broncos, would this be 3 straight for the Broncos if they win today? Can the Broncos make it happen?
Yeah, they can make it happen. Are they going to make it happen? No, I don't think so. I mean, again, two teams I'm not really looking forward to playing each other, but at the same point, I think right now the Raiders are still the better team on paper, and until Bo Nix shows me something that makes me believe that's a better team, I got to go with the Raiders on this one.
Raiders, okay. You're going with the Raiders. All right, what about you, Mike?
Man, likewise, bro. Look, the Broncos, they got 2 wins, but like the only good win was against Tampa. Like last week against the Jets, didn't they have like negative passing yards in the first half and only 60 yards in total? Like, bro, the Broncos are not a good team. Look, like they're not a good team. They're just not, bro. And I think this might be one of the unexpected good games of the week. I don't think it's gonna be like 35-32 or none, but I think it could be like 1-score game with a few minutes left. But I gotta go with the Raiders here. I just don't think Bo Nix is good whatsoever, and I don't think the Broncos as a team is good. So give me the Raiders.
All right, yeah.
Even with
Gotcha. Also today, the Broncos will be without running back Tyler Beatty. I saw earlier that he will not be a go today. He has +4. He has a +43 rushing yards on design rushes to the inside this season, which is full most in the NFL. Now, there's a budding star in the National Football League that plays in Denver, and he plays on the defensive line. And I'm talking about Broncos defensive tackle, defensive end Zach Allen. Get this, guys. Dating back to the start of 2023, he leads all defensive tackles in the NFL in total pressures generated with 85. He also leads all D tackles with at least 50 pass rushing snaps on average this season. He has a line on the right side 61% of the time. And this week he'll be lined up across Raiders rookie offensive guard Jackson Powers Johnson out of Oregon, making his second start of his career. Now, last week he held up pretty good, allowed only 1 pressure on 44 blocking snaps thus far. He didn't give up a pressure, but he will have his hands full today. I'm going with the Raiders in this one. I think they're going to make it tough on young Bo Nix. But that that Broncos defense, man, they're one of the best units in the National Football League, and they have to be right now. Take some of that pressure off their young quarterback. You know what? Hey, fam, you know what? I'm going with the Broncos. I'm going to tell you why. We know who Gardner Minshew is, man. And right now, I don't think they're sold on Gardner Minshew in Vegas. I'm going with the Broncos also in this one. I think the Broncos bring it home and take this contest in the AFC West. Jeffrey, how you doing, my friend? Thank you for being here. Come on in. Hey, family, do us a favor as you're coming in. If you're watching it on replay, hit that like button, subscribe, and join us here each and every single week at 10:05 a.m. Central Time for the #1 pregame show on all the social media as the NFL turns. All right, family. So we all are I'm going with the Broncos. I believe Jeremy's going with the Broncos. And Mike, you took the Raiders?
No, I'm taking the Raiders. I'm not going with the Broncos.
You going with the Raiders. Mike, you took the Raiders too?
You're the lone wolf, brother.
Oh, man. Let me see if I can do a better lone wolf.
I think it's the low bar. Oh, there we go. That's a wolf.
Lone wolfing it, baby. I'm going with the Broncos. You're born it. I'm on the island all by myself, family. It's all good. Derek Hill. I see Derek Hill in the chat, too. Look, hey, we got the chat against me. Derek Hill's going with the Raiders, too. I love you, my brother, but like these two, you're wrong. So here we go. Next game up. Oh, what about this one? Oh, Arizona at San Francisco. Upset special of the day. Upset special of the day. I'm starting early, man. I ain't even waiting. I'm getting it to y'all right now. Arizona goes into San Francisco. It's a divisional game. They get the win over the 49ers. No Christian McCaffrey today. That he could possibly return Thursday night, but for today, this Sunday, 49ers going to have some problems, and I'm going with the Arizona Cardinals to come out on top. Mike, I'm going to pass it to you, then we'll go to Jeremy.
And I guess we got two upsets on the horizon because I also got the Cardinals pulling it out, baby. Like, before you're like, Mike, you just don't want to do the lone wolf. Nah, man, if you watch the Hurricane Mike show, I said it there as well. But yeah, so look, the thing is, Brock Purdy, is he a good quarterback? Yeah, he's better than most. But I just don't look. The Cardinals have been playing teams tough. Okay, Jeremy, you should know about that because week 1 against the Bills, he's tearing up the Bills' defense. Week 2 against the Rams, he's tearing up the Rams' defense. And week 3, they've been on and off, but they've been mostly on. Even though they're they have 1 or 2 wins, they've been competitive. And the 49ers, they haven't been that competitive. Yes, they've been competitive and they're winning some games, but they lost Sam Darnold, they lost to a Rams team that didn't have nobody. So I gotta go the Cardinals here. I think the Cardinals for right now are the better team in the right now. That could change come week 18, but for now, I think the Cardinals will get the win. So, Jeremy, either you're going to be lone wolf or we're all going to be likewise.
Nope, I'm going with the Cardinals. I love Kyler Murray, former OU Heisman winner. He's my fantasy quarterback, so I need a big day. And honestly, if you look at that first drive they had last week, I mean, they went off fast. Connor was rushing. Harrison Jr. was getting involved. And then they just really went quiet against the Commanders. I think this week they're going to turn that around. I expect there to be a big game out of both of them. I expect to see Kyler use his legs more like he has been the past few weeks. He had three rushing yards last week where he's averaged about 50 every week prior to that. I expect to see him take off and run more. And I expect to see a lot more downfield throws to Harrison Jr. And I think this is going to be an exciting game. I think Arizona is going to pop off on San Francisco. So go Cardinals.
Gotcha. Speaking of the Cardinals, let's talk about the defense for a little bit. The Cardinals defense has aligned in 5-man fronts 40% of the time this season, which is the 6th highest rate in the NFL. Now, in those occasions, they have dropped into coverage 19% of the time on those snaps, which is the highest rate in the NFL. and their defenders aligned on the line of scrimmage have dropped into coverage 37% of the time this season. So why is that important? Zach Collins and Dennis Gardeck both rank among the top 5 edge defenders in the league in terms of going without a missed tackle this season. How about that? Those 2 kids do not miss tackles. Dennis Gardeck and Xavier Collins. Coach Xavier Collins, the first round pick a few years ago out of Tulsa. Again, I just like that the way the Cardinals play. I know they're 1-3, but they play hard. And listen, I mean, Jeremy saw week 1 up close and personal. I mean, they gave Buffalo all they can handle. And the 49ers, and the 49ers are allowing the 5th highest pressure rate this season, despite having the highest time for their quarterback to have time to pass, which is 3 seconds. So I'm going with the Cardinals. We all going with the Cardinals. It's a clean sweep. We going with the Cardinals. I know a lot of you at home are saying y'all are out y'all mind if y'all think Arizona is going to go into San Francisco and win. We shall see, my friend. We shall see. All right, family. Next up, Green Bay. The Packers taking on the LA Rams today in this contest. You know I love Matthew Stafford. You know I like McVay. But they don't let me down the last few weeks. I can't go with them today. And much as it hurts me, much as I dislike this team, don't care for this team, I got to go with. I'm going to Packers, man. It don't even sound right coming off my tongue. But, man, listen, I'm going to Packers today. I think the Packers go to L.A. and get it right. And if you're a Rams fan and they win today, you say thank you, Dolph, for not picking us this week. So Jeremy, I'll start with you on this one. Packers or Rams?
Yeah, I like the Packers in this one. Obviously they were struggling with Love back in. I was really wondering if they were going to give Willis another week. I mean, you can go back and forth on whether they should have or not, but you saw Love start to shake the rust off in the end of the game, and I think they're going to be more back to themselves after last week and kind of getting that momentum towards the end of the game and carrying it into this week against, honestly, what's a pretty weak passing attack right now with the Rams. I mean, other than Williams, there's not much to look forward to on that team at the moment.
Gotcha. Mike, your thoughts?
Look, do I even got to explain it to Packers, okay? I actually don't think there's going to be anywhere close. I don't even think the Rams are going to even get 20 points. I think it's going to be a complete blowout. I think the Packers will put up probably almost 40 points. I just don't like the Rams at all whatsoever. Their entire team is already dead because Cooper Kupp ain't playing, Puka Nacua ain't playing. And we've seen Stafford without those two. Like, he needs them because if he doesn't, then the Rams offense can't function. Because we saw the Rams offense when they didn't have them week 2 against Cardinals. What happened? Cardinals started freaking whooping the freaking Rams. So I think it's going to be that type of situation again. It's going to be a freaking blowout, and the Rams are just going to hope that the clock hits 0 in about a couple minutes. So give me the Packers to blow the Rams out.
Now, for my Rams fans out there and for all the family here, the Rams defense has generated pressure on a league high 41.3% of dropbacks this season, but they're getting the pressure, but they're not converting those pressures into sacks. They are only converting those pressures into sacks 14% of the time, which is the 5th lowest in pressure to sack conversion in the NFL. So I'm going with the Packers. Like you guys said, I think Jordan Love knocked some of that rust off today. I think the Packers bring it home today. Packers over the Rams. Next contest, the New York Giants against the Seattle Seahawks. Shout out to Miss Megan. Shout out to my brother Eric Wallace on the West Coast, the 12th man, baby. Seattle, New York Giants. I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks because Daniel Jones is the quarterback of the New York Giants. I love Malik Neighbors, but I go with the Seahawks. And I love Kenny Walker the running game. And of course, they are explosive on the outside with Lockett and with what's the big receiver for the Seahawks?
DK
Metcalf. And they got a good tight end also. I'm going with the Seahawks in this one. I think it's 26 to 12. How about that? I'm going 26-12 Seahawks over the Giants. I'm even calling out scores this week. You know I feel good. 26-12. All right. Go ahead, Jeremy. I'll let you take this one, my brother. Then Hurricane Mike.
28-10 Seahawks. I mean, the Giants are still a mess. Daniel Jones is the quarterback. Devin Singletary's out this game. I don't even know who their backup is besides Eric Gray, and he's got almost no touches. So I don't in any way see this game being close. 28-10 Seahawks. Geno Smith is just going to have a nice, easy day. Walker, probably another 2 touchdowns. You know, he had 3 last week. He's probably just going to keep plugging away. So no question here.
Okay. Your thoughts, Mike?
I ain't gonna be no lone wolf this time because I got the Seahawks winning too. I have it being 17-15, not because Daniel Jones is gonna keep the Giants in the game. It's because Daniel Jones is trash. That's why they're gonna lose 17-15. Look, I've been saying it. Even after they made the playoffs a couple years ago, I still was saying it. Daniel Jones is not that guy. Because this has nothing to do with the beef I got into last year. This has nothing to do with him parading on my team back in 2021. This has nothing to do with that. He's just he's not a dynamic player. Because I watched that Cowboys game last week, and it's like, bro, the Giants would be so good if Daniel Jones wasn't the quarterback. Like, if you put Tommy DeVito in that game last week, Giants win. If you even put Drew Lock in the game last week, the Giants win. I think Daniel Jones might be the worst quarterback on the Giants roster. And that's not an overreaction. Give me the Seahawks. It's going to be a close game because I like the Giants' defense. But Daniel Jones is just not that guy. You paid $40 million for toilet water.
So, with that, you see why we call him Hurricane Mike. So, with that being said, since 2022, family, Daniel Jones has thrown more interceptions, 8, than touchdowns, 6 on 193 downfield pass attempts. Just not connecting, but this year he does have a dynamic young receiver in Malik Neighbors, but Daniel Jones, simply put, has not been getting the job done on downfield passes since 2022. We all are going with the Seattle Seahawks and this one over the New York Giants. All right, next game up, family. Oh, this game right here. This game is a throwback game, and let me give you some history. It goes back to the 70s. It goes to Super Bowls. It goes to Super Bowl titles. It is a throwback, baby. It's the Cowboys. It's the Steelers. It's Sunday Night Football, baby, on NBC. We've been waiting all night for Sunday Night Football, baby. It's going down. Oh, you got all kind of people out for the Cowboys. Steelers should win this. The Steelers come in with one of the most disrespected head coaches in the National Football League, which I don't understand, and I'm going to keep saying it each and every week until y'all realize he is one of the greatest ever to do it. Well, he only has 1 Super Bowl, but damn it, he may have 1. A lot of coaches don't have none. He's got that 1, he's been the 2, and he has yet to have a losing season, and the man had Mason Rudolph and Kenny Pickett as his quarterback. Damn it, it's the Cowboys, it's the Steelers. Guys, I'm going to let you guys take this one first. And by the way, this is our come on in NFL game of the week, our pick. So, Jeremy, I'm going to start with you. Cowboys, Steelers, who you got in this one?
Ooh, I'm going with the emotional pick. I'm going with the Steelers. This isn't because I'm looking at statistics. I'm going with the emotional pick because I want Justin Fields and the Steelers to actually win this over the Cowboys. Just because, 1, of my hatred of the Cowboys as a Bills fan, and 2, because I feel like Fields is still being disrespected as a quarterback, and I think this is a good opportunity in prime time for him to really shine and show that him being the starting quarterback for the Steelers isn't a fluke, and that he's also earned it. Granted, he wasn't going to be the starter, but he stepped into it, and he's making this team look real good lately, just by using that athletic ability we know he has. So I'm going with Steelers in this one.
All right. And Mike, who you going with in this one, Mike?
Look, I don't like Justin Fields. I don't think he's a good quarterback. But I will say this. The Steelers will win. Not because of Justin Fields. It's because of that defense, okay? Dak Prescott, he's going to be like, who are these dudes? Because every single time he takes a snap, he's going to be 5 feet into the dirt. Because T.J. Watt, that kid is a monster. He's a beast. Alex Highsmith, he's playing all right. And the Cowboys O-line is a little shaky. So Dak Prescott, he's going to be like, who are these dudes? Why are they always sacking me over and over? So, yeah, I got the Steelers in the close game. It's going to be a defensive ball game. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers to get the win and to advance to 4-1. And also, I got to bet with somebody because I predict the Steelers to go 11-6. So this will actually help the bet.
All right. Well, who I'm going with in this one? You heard my spiel earlier. Cowboys Steelers, but the Cowboys have a lot of injuries. I think the difference is today that with his legs, Justin Fields makes the difference with his legs. Steelers at home. Steelers get the victory. Listen, no DeMarcus Lawrence, possibly no Michael Parsons, if I'm not mistaken. No Brandon Cooks. Everything pointing in favor of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I think they get the job done at home. I'm going with the Steelers in this one also. But I think it'll be closer than everyone thinks. I think the Steelers win 23-20. Now, this next game, I'm going to let Hurricane Mike take this next game because this next game is Monday night. This game Monday night features the world champion Kansas City Chiefs and a team that started the season off like a house on fire. But the last 2 weeks, they have failed to close the deal, mainly their defense. So with that being said, Hurricane Mike, I'm going to give you the flow on this one. Saints, Chiefs, Monday night. Can your New Orleans Saints possibly pull the upset and shock the world?
Man, call me biased if you want. Give me the Saints to win this game, man. We're going to go into Arrowhead. We're going to march in. We're going to put our foot on the gas. We ain't going to take it off the gas pedal. And you see this right here? The Saints football? Man, Derek Carr going to say, Hut, he's going to sling it to a lobby for all the touchdowns. The defense is going to make Mahomes' life a living you-know-what. And the Saints are going to win 26-15. Get off my screen, Chief.
Hey, you heard Hurricane Mike, baby. Only Hurricane Mike he can do. He's gone Saints. Jeremy, I'm going to let you go next, and then I'll close it out for us.
All right, keeping it quick. I'm going Saints. Got to go with my fam's team on this one. So all Saints.
All Saints, family. Well, those of you who follow us, you know your boy. Oh, you know my passion. You know I'm black and gold. All through my soul, baby. The Saints for the last 2 weeks defensively have had an opportunity to close out games and secure a victory. And quite frankly, they have come up short, which prompted me to call them trash, garbage, dumpster juice. I'm not calling the defense as a whole trash, garbage, or dumpster juice. I'm talking about in the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds between a minute or less in the game. The Saints defense just hasn't come through. They have let Who That Nation down, and they have let themselves down. This Monday night, they go into hostile territory to face the world champion Kansas City Chiefs, who are dealing with injuries. But just like the Saints, if you look at the injury reports in this game, the Saints injury list looks like a mass unit. With that being said, the Saints do have the defensive backs to make it tough. The Saints will have to contain one Patrick Mahomes, and this may be crazy for me to say this. The Saints must stop the run and force Patrick Mahomes to beat him. And everyone right now will say, man, Dolph, you have totally lost your mind if you think the Saints want Patrick Mahomes to pass the ball this on Monday night against them. There's no way in hell they want that. Well, have you seen Patrick Mahomes this season? Have you seen him play this season? Patrick Mahomes, family, this season has not been Patrick Mahomes. He's been giving that ball away at a high clip. And some of the intercepts that he has thrown this season have not been good. They have been downright god awful. So with that being said, I think last week the Saints offense, they scored 3 touchdowns and at the field goal, they scored 24. The one hiccup for the Saints offense was week 3 against the Eagles when they only scored 12, but they had the lead late in the game, and of course the defense was unable to close the door. With that being said, I'm riding with Hurricane Mike and Jeremy. We go shock the world tomorrow night. So everybody, all your bettors, go ahead and put your money on Kansas City. Go ahead and put your money behind Patrick Mahomes. Because tomorrow night, baby, Who That Nation marches into Arrowhead Stadium, baby, and we go second line out that son of a gun with a W. That's right. The Saints take it home tomorrow night, 24-21 at Arrowhead. Blake Groupie kicks the walk-off field goal as the Saints improve to 3-2. And I ain't just being a homer. Saints have a great chance to win this game. The Chiefs are 4-0. Their margin of victory is just 5. So they have been, all their games have been close games, but because they are champions, they make the plays when necessary to be undefeated. So the Saints cannot give this team anything. They will have to play their best football to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, and I think they will. Go ahead, Mike.
So for the past 2 years, right, y'all might be like, how do you know this? Bro, my brain is like a library at this point. But so for the past 2 years, the Chiefs have always had that one game where they lose and nobody expects them to lose. You remember last year against the Broncos in like week 8 when Mahomes had the flu? Everybody thought the Chiefs were going to dog the Broncos, and the Broncos ended up blowing the Chiefs out. 2 years ago against the Colts in like week 3 or week 4, the Colts had freaking old Matt Ryan and freaking beat the Chiefs by a field goal. So I'm not saying that means the Saints are that team, but well, I am saying that. But what I am saying, man, is even if the Saints lose, they ain't going down without a fight. You ain't just gonna, bro. Look, the Saints ain't gonna just lay down and just let you kick us some punches, man. The Saints are gonna get up and they're gonna bite harder than they got bit. Come on, man. Who that all day? Who that all day?
All right, family. With that being said, y'all know what time it is. It is time for one of the most exciting segments of our show. It is time for straight balling. I ain't got it queued up today. We just gonna go into it. So my straight balling candidate for the day. Who is it going to be, dog? Who are you going to go with? Of all the games today, who's going to be your straight baller for the day? I'm going no further than the nation's capital. I'm going with the rookie sensation. I'm not a fan of the head coach. I'm tired of retreads, but this young man is special. I'm going with Jaden Daniels of the Washington Commanders to be my straight balling player of the day. Jeremy, who you got? All right, Mike, when Jeremy's at event, so he'll jump in a second. So, Mike, who's your straight baller candidate of the day?
Man, my straight baller, man, oh man, bro.
Matter of fact, hold on,
my
Mike. Mike, hold on. I got it queued up, man. All right, there you go, Mike. It's queued up for you, baby. Let's go, Mike. Who is your straight balling candidate of the day, baby?
Look, man, it might not be a popular pick, but I'm going to show love to the defense, okay?
Let's go.
Defensive player. Now, a lot of people may not, find defensive games amusing, but give me Max Crosby from the Las Vegas Raiders because – man, look, Max Crosby missed the game or two, and he's going to be like, man, did y'all forget who I am? I'm Max freaking Crosby, man. So he's going to sack Bo Nix at least 3 times. give me 3 times. He's going to force a fumble as well, and he's even going to cause Bo Nix to throw a pick, bro. So give me Max Crosby to be my straight ball.
All right, that's Hurricane Mike, straight ball in Canada today. Max Crosby, Jeremy, my brother, are you there?
I'm here. All right, I'm going to go with a
good.
random one. I'm going to go with the guy I talked about earlier. I'm going to go with Trey Sermon, the Indianapolis Colts today.
Ooh, Trey Sermon of the Colts, baby.
Trey Sermon, and here's why. If you watched him at the end of last season, you saw the last game he played where he had that angry run. He got up just straight flexing. That is what I'm looking for today. That man's got something to prove. He's getting his opportunity with Jonathan Taylor out. I think he's going to take full advantage of it, and he's just going to run wild like he did back in college. And I think today is going to be that game. He's going to have that breakout he's always been looking for and people have been looking to see. So I'm going with Trey Sermon. So a bit of a dark horse today.
Hey, great, good pick, man. Good pick. Listen, family, that's going to bring the show to a conclusion. We want to thank each and every single one of you for joining us for today's As the NFL Turns. Remember, set that notification bell because we're live, baby, every Sunday until the end of the season. That's right. We will be live Super Bowl Sunday, baby. We got you covered here on the Come On In Sports Network. Today we had a special guest host. He is the one and only Hurricane Mike. He's a content creator of the New Orleans Saints. This young brother is doing a great job along with Papa Hurricane. You got to check him out. Mike, again, tell everybody your channel, where they can find you at.
Yeah, man, you can always find me here at on YouTube at Hurricane Mike. You know, it's not that hard to search up. Just, Hurricane Mike, and then most likely just put Saints at the end, and then you'll see where I'm at. But also, shout out to a YouTube channel called Warren Newby. That's where you can find my dad at. He's not as active as I am, but we be active on the Hurricane Mike show. I can tell you that.
All right, man. Listen, it was a pleasure and honor having you with us, my brother. Don't be a stranger. Yeah, thank you. Our law firm was in the building, baby. Annie Marie Elizabeth Rose Velowski, thank you for being here. Derek L., thank you for being here. St. John Butler, thank you. My guy Samuel, thank you for being here. Oh, we had some other family members come through. Who else we had? Sports Nation was in the building. Sports Nation, thank you for being here. Thomas Gridley, thank you, Thomas, for being here. Who else? I got to get you, baby, because you took time out to come chill with us. We appreciate each and every single one of you. And if I miss anybody, it's not on purpose. We love all of you. Hey, we're growing, and it's because of you. And we want to say, hey, if you see little me right there, Mike, say hello to everybody. Hi. Mike is in the house. Listen, we want everyone, family. Come on, daddy's boy. We want everyone to have him. Say what's up.
Hi.
What's up, my old man?
There you go. Say what's up.
What's up?
Love it.
All right. So listen, family, y'all have a great, great Sunday. Enjoy your football day. Hey, and like always, family, the doors are not open. So come on in. We see you next week, family. We out.
The Come On In Sports Network.
Nice job, Dolph.